As justice correspondent for The Nation magazine, Elie Mystal has been closely following the Republican Party's anti-democratic push to suppress as many votes as possible, and he joins me now. I want to start on the Roberts Court and what the Supreme Court has wrought, because I just there's a sort of sense of like this whack-a-mole that you're constantly playing. They're passing a bill in Texas and they're passing one in Georgia, and today in Arizona, and they're these small things. And again, they're at the margins. It's like these 100,000 voters in Arizona and this drop box in Texas. But it's precisely that infrastructure that we used to have at a federal level with civil servants and not politicians looking at it, which also cuts both ways, because if advocates are saying, well, this is horrible and will have disparate impact, and the civil servants say, no, actually, this is fine, like, that's also good. It's good to have someone dispassionately evaluate this stuff.
Look, your open was right, and your question to Senator Klobuchar was exactly right. This was wrought by John Roberts. The problem with everything happening in Congress today, everything happening in the Senate, the For the People Act, or the John Lewis Act, is that John Roberts is still there.
Right.
All right. Nothing has happened to make him go away.
Right.
Anthony Kennedy was part of the majority in Shelby County, joining Roberts in eviscerating the Voting Rights Act. Anthony Kennedy has been replaced by alleged attempted rapist Brett Kavanaugh. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who opposed John Roberts' decision in Shelby County, has been replaced by Amy Coney Barrett. I cannot count to five votes on the Supreme Court that would uphold anything that gets passed by this Congress to secure the Voting Rights Act. So I don't know what we're doing. If we're not expanding the court, if we're not aggressively reforming the court, we are doing nothing to protect voting rights, because John Roberts and now 6 conservatives can destroy whatever Congress passes out of this Congress just as easily as they destroyed the initial Voting Rights Act.
It's such a good point. I mean, it's a pressing one, so like don't change the channel. Stay with us here. But it points to. I mean, you're totally right. Like John Roberts is sitting there. Like I went to on a date with my wife in an indoor restaurant. And he's sitting there like I was like watching the oysters come over. Like he's sitting watching like Senate Bill 1. Can bring it right here. I know what to do with that bill. So you're totally right about that. I mean, it speaks in some ways to the profundity of the Democratic stakes here, because again, all this stuff is like these small whittling attacks at the margins. It's 100,000 votes here, but the animating spirit of it harkens back to the original sin of the country and its worst authoritarian impulses. And like, we have to do some deep work to keep democracy going right now in a bunch of different directions.
This is the battle that we're always fighting, right? There are, as I count them, 4 amendments to the Constitution trying to get over our original sin of having a democracy where only rich white people could vote, right? We have the 15th Amendment, the 19th Amendment, the 24th Amendment, which eliminated the poll tax, the 26th Amendment, which dropped the voting age to 18. I could throw in the 17th Amendment, which made popular elections of the senators possible. So that's 4 to 5 amendments trying to expand the franchise. Who's been against them at every point? Conservatives. Whether those conservatives called themselves Democrats in the 1860s, whether they call themselves Republicans today, whether they call themselves Democrats from West Virginia today, conservatives are the ones who are against expanding the franchise. Why? Because when everybody votes, conservatives can't win. That's just, they know it, I know it, everybody knows it. When everybody votes and everybody's vote is counted, the current Conservative Party, as it is currently constituted, cannot win. So they're not playing chess, right? They're not trying to like arrange the white pieces so they can outflank the black pieces. They are trying to throw the black pieces off the board and say checkmate.
Right.
Like that's their actual political strategy. And it has worked at various times in our country's history very well.
Yeah, and that point about, I mean, the point about the Voting Rights Act and the 15th Amendment is a reminder of exactly the same issue here. Like, we had the 15th Amendment. It was quite clear. And you want to talk about intent. Like, it was quite clear that what happened afterwards was not okay, and yet it happened again. We have to pass the Voting Rights Act to get back to the square one of essentially Reconstruction era enfranchisement, multiracial enfranchisement in the South. The battle continues now. We saw it on display in the Senate today. Elie Mystal, thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.